Okay, so again, for those of you just coming in, my name is Derek Wood. I'm the Partner Product Manager here at SOS, and today we're going to be going through our new ServerSave product and ServerSave program. So those of you who are already partners, this changes your relationship with us, and for the better. And for those of you who are not yet partners with us, this will give you a good look into, what is ServerSave, who is SOS and where do we come from. What products do we have and services available, and what does that mean to you, and what does it mean to your customers? We're also going to discuss the part of the market that we're really addressing with these services to your customers, and how the new ServerSave product specifically changes that market. And then we're going to end with a quick run through the product itself, so you can all see it firsthand. So first of all, a brief history on SOS Online Backup. SOS Online Backup was founded in 2001 in Melbourne, Australia. Like most tech startups, started in a dorm room. Rather humble beginnings, humble operations until about 2005, which is when the international operation really launched. So we opened up sales in the US particularly. We started at the very beginning winning PC Mag Editor's Choice Awards in 2006 with our beta client even. So we came out hot, ready to make some changes. And so hot, in fact, that we ended up linking up with a lot of major retailers. So the early days of SOS, our target really became these large retail giants. Bitdefender, Webroot, Online Backup for Dummies, etc. And we had a very strategic relationship with these partners, a lot of custom development work, and long project times, very complex partnerships. In 2006, 2007, we launched a sales operation in Los Angeles, and our operation was primarily with the file and folder backup program, or only with the file and folder backup program that we had previously. And we had a direct user sale operation as well as a light affiliate program. So affiliate program, just as you would expect, a revenue share relationship. In the years to follow, through about 2008, 2009, we realized that the affiliate program really wasn't giving us the strength and ability to really address the SMB market, who is primarily served by you all, IT service providers serving SMBs. So we wanted to create a strategic relationship where we could have a much better relationship with our SMB IT service providers and continue to grow the program and the product around that tight relationship. So getting feedback from our partners, the IT professionals specifically, who are addressing the SMB market, as we grew and are growing our products and services. So beginning in 2009, we launched the first iteration of the program that we're all talking about today. The program grew so rapidly that we actually relocated headquarters from Melbourne, Australia to Los Angeles, California within the year. And it's been that type of a story ever since. High growth, big membership, great feedback, and tight relationship with all of our partners. We have live webinars every week, so we get this feedback, and we constantly have this iteration of feedback from our customers. For those of you involved in Scrum methodologies, it's a bit like that, but in feedback from the customers and how you do it on a grand scale. And it's really been working out pretty well. So today we're talking about the ServerSave program. The whole goal of the ServerSave program was to really provide an offering, an end-to-end solution, rather than just a single strategy, just file and folder, or just BDR, or just a tape system, or just hard drives, or just offsite, just onsite. You can do it all. Mobile platforms, laptops, workstations, and servers, file and folder, image-based backup, both on-site and off-site. So we put this package together thinking, wow, this is really going to be a unique offering, and our partners are going to be able to kill it out there. You don't have to deal with multiple vendors. You can come to us through everything. On top of that, we're going to give it at a price point that is super ninja, something that's just going to undercut the rest of the market. So if we look at this slide here, this really speaks to the last few years of where we've come from. So we're just exiting the early adoption stage of cloud-based services. The IDC has surveyed about 60, and had found that 16%, only 16% of the SMBs they surveyed were employing some type of cloud-based backup solution. Now, 3/4 of those are saying, well, this was just a limited implementation. This was a test. We did an evaluation and we did, light tests through the sales process, but then this first purchase was really just a extended evaluation period. If this works out well, we're going to be moving this into a much grander implementation. We're going to be having cloud services instead of just on one machine or on just one workstation or one group of users. We're going to have it across the whole company. The IDC also just came out with a study just this last week in an article that was written in commented in TechCrunch, I believe. You can look it up. But they said that they've looked at an increase just in the last year of cloud-based services now are consuming nearly 1.5% of all IT expenditures. And they're expecting that to grow dramatically based on this evidence, which shows that only 16% of the SMBs have really taken it. So far, all the growth has been in those early adopters, those people who have low risk in moving services, low risk in moving to something that hasn't really been market proven or is still kind of new to the market. So online backup isn't new. We've been around since 2001. What's new is the security behind it. Is it proven? In 2006, 2007, that was the biggest part of any discussion when you're trying to sell online backup is, well, is that secure? And obviously it is, and it's been proven and people are comfortable with it now. After the security aspect of it, as well as it's even viable, do we have the internet connection to deal with this? And you see how that's changed. Now you have high-speed internet available today where there was none just 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe just dial-up. So now it's the infrastructure that's really come to grips. So the growth over the last 3 to 4 years in online backup has been about 33% year over year for the last 3 or 4 years, primarily in the consumer and micro business markets. Now with the SMBs who are more conservative in what they adopt, and they have a higher cost of adoption because they have to move from existing services to something else, and their implementation is going to be a little more complex than just a single workstation. Now we're looking at the next few years is a huge ramp up in not only the number of SMBs adopting this type of service, but the scope of adoption with these types of services. So we're really looking at just a tremendous exponential growth over the next 3 to 4 years in a much bigger market. This isn't a market where we're replacing services. This is a market that's newly opening up to taking these types of cloud-based backup solutions into play. So we've really reached that price functionality inflection point. So previously we stuck at the file and folder backup because that was really what was most viable to get off-site, both because of infrastructure and storage costs. Now that infrastructure is improved, infrastructure meaning internet availability, high-speed access that is, and storage costs are down, we've now added image-based backup off-site, which is now something that's viable. Whereas, a few years ago, we would have been spinning our wheels to really no avail. But now we're looking at a point where businesses are really going to start dramatically increasing the amount of money they put towards cloud-based backup solutions to a point where cloud-based solutions aren't even a matter of should we do it, is that okay to do? It's more of you're not doing that already, you should move to that. The ROI behind it makes so much sense. And that's the exciting part about this market is that not only are we looking at a dramatic increase just in the hard costs, but the maintenance services behind this are just unknown. That it could be even more. The IDC has estimated that we're going to see a 3 to 5x growth over the next 3 to 4 years. And the Harvard Business Review reviewed the same article and said, hey, that's really not even addressing everything. That's a really low-end estimate. That's a safe growth. We're probably seeing more of a 5 to 8 to 10x growth because of the managed services behind it. So the managed service market, meaning not primarily break-fix, whereas a break-fix relationship, just so we define it all for everyone, is one where you get a new customer and you set up what they ask you to set up. Maybe you have a few suggestions, and they pay you for that, and it's usually hourly based, and then hardware costs and licensing costs. And the only time you make money thereafter is if they call you. The only time they call you is if something typically is broken. So it's called a break-fix relationship. And it's a negative relationship. You make money when they're losing money. So you have essentially opposite goals. And it becomes one of those driver-mechanic relationships where there's sometimes can be trust issues, which is why a lot of you are doing so well and coming in today, is that a lot of you have great relationships with your customers. You've had customers for 10, 15, 20 years. And moving into the managed service market means that instead of just doing a break fix, you're going to have a monthly charge for a defined set of services. And these services are going to be more encompassing, and they're more preventative in nature. So that means that your customers will typically be spending the same amount with you per year as they were in break fix, except they're getting better services and are going to experience less downtime. Also, you and your staff will experience less costs on your end from less sneaker time. Preventative measures are always going to be cheaper than reactionary measures, and that's just a part of risk management and project management as you get through it. So we're really excited to see, and we can see here at the bottom, and I'll read the quote because it's a little small, the data speaks to an untapped opportunity for offerings beyond data backup and recovery, such as continuity services. So this is something where we're really just piggybacking on this huge market. So the dramatic growth we're seeing here is about as much as we can put numbers to, but there's dramatic growth behind it because of how the whole market is shifted to this managed service model. Anyone here currently just looking into managed service model and essentially looking at this program as their foot into the managed service market? That's generally what a lot of our partners are doing, is being something that everyone needs, which is a good backup solution and a complete backup solution. This is a great starting point for managed services because this is the lowest common denominator. What does everyone need? They need managed services, or they need managed backup solutions. So typically, what we see in the market is these SMBs, and this graph speaks to the growth, is an SMB will typically have some sort of, great, so Robert and Frank say they're right there, this is my lead in for managed services. So perfect, that's exactly what we've kind of left this up to. So typically when you go into an SMB environment, you're going to have a single strategy in backup with maybe a testing cloud-based solution that only a single user has in place. And typically what you see in place at SMB is what's called a BDR solution, or business or backup disaster recovery. Now this term has been wildly misdefined, however you want to say that, as image-based backup and image-based recovery. And really you think about it, a backup disaster recovery plan is not just a single strategy. Saying that you have a BDR solution in place should mean that you have, again, all the things that we talked about, and we'll talk about more. You have a plan for backing up information from your mobile devices, from your laptops, your workstations, your servers, both at a file and an image level for a couple of those, so mostly for the servers when we talked about images. And then a way to recover both locally, file and folder, online file and folder, local image, and online image. That's a full solution. That's a BDR solution. So BDR typically has been referred to by a lot of hardware-based services where you have to buy a big staging server,